Welcome to Nation United, where history, politics, and people come together. This is the place where we search for meaning, explore unity, and remind ourselves of the story we all share. One nation, under God, indivisible. Let's begin. Charlie Kirk has become one of the most recognized names in American political activism, and whether you agree with his ideas or not, his story reveals something bigger. The way young people in the United States are stepping into politics at a scale we haven't. Kirk is the founder of Turning Point USA, a nonprofit launched in 2012 when he was only 18 years old. His mission was straightforward: mobilize college students around conservative principles such as limited government, free markets, and American exceptionalism. The rapid rise of this movement reflects a broader shift in how activism, social media, and youth engagement intersect today. To understand this phenomenon, we need to place it in historical context. Young Americans have always been political drivers. In the 1960s, students organized mass protests against the Vietnam War and fought for civil rights. In the 1970s, college campuses became hotbeds of debates over women's rights and the environment. In the 1980s, youth voter turnout surged around Ronald Reagan's message of patriotism and economic freedom. In 2008, Barack Obama tapped into the energy of a younger generation through grassroots organizing and digital outreach. Charlie Kirk and Turning Point are part of this lineage, but with a modern twist, using viral videos, campus chapters, and influencer-style branding to reach millions of young people where they already are. Online. Official data backs this trend. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, voter turnout among 18 to 29-year-olds jumped from 20% in the 2014 midterms to 36% in 2018, the largest increase for any age group. In the 2020 presidential election, youth turnout rose again, with nearly half of eligible 18 to 29-year-olds casting ballots. Pew Research confirms that Gen Z is the most racially diverse and digitally connected generation in American history, which means their political engagement is reshaping the landscape in ways we're only beginning to understand. Kirk saw this trend early and capitalized on it by meeting students not just at ballot boxes, but in lecture halls, TikTok feeds, and Instagram reels. Turning Point USA's rapid expansion also raises questions. What does it mean when one organization dominates campus politics so effectively? Supporters argue it balances liberal dominance at universities and gives conservative students a voice. Critics counter that its tactics, large conferences, social media blitzes, and ideological branding, risk polarizing campuses further. But this is exactly why the story matters. Kirk's movement is not just about him. It's about a new generation testing what democracy looks like in a hyper-connected age. There's also a financial dimension. IRS data shows TPUSA's revenue grew from under $1 million in 2012 to over $55 million by 2021, rivaling some of the largest advocacy organizations in the country. This money fuels everything from campus tours to flashy conferences like AmericaFest, where students gather to hear politicians, commentators, and entertainers. For young activists, these events feel less like political rallies and more like cultural festivals, a model that echoes both historic movements and modern marketing. But critics argue that movements like TPUSA focus more on branding than substance. That critique might sound modern, but it's actually timeless. Political engagement in America has always had a performative side. In the 19th century, torchlight parades and patriotic songs were used to rally support for parties. In the 1960s, protest music and televised marches galvanized public opinion. Today, viral memes, Instagram stories, and YouTube debates play that same role. Kirk has simply adapted an old strategy: make politics feel cultural, not just procedural. And here's where the story becomes even bigger. Harvard's Institute of Politics found that more than half of young Americans believe their generation will be the one to make the country better. That sense of destiny, combined with digital tools and organizations like TPUSA, means we may be entering a new era of youth-driven politics, one where the fight for attention online is just as important as the fight for votes on Election Day. This raises a final question. Will these youth movements, from Kirk's TPUSA to progressive grassroots groups, bring America closer together, or will they drive us further apart? The answer may depend less on the leaders and more on how the generation itself decides to use its voice. History shows that youth movements can both unite and divide, but they always shape the direction of the nation. Thank you for joining us on Nation United. I'm PJ, and I'll be here to guide you through the stories that shape who we are. Remember, the story of America isn't finished, and you are part of writing the next chapter. One nation, under God, indivisible. Until next time.